Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Nicole releases fierceness on Brady. Tate's bruised eye. Sloan frenzies. Days of Our Lives uncovers that Maggie Kyriakis will visit Holly Jonas in the clinic and discuss how her heart breaks for her valuable granddaughter. Maggie will dread the idea of losing Holly as well because losing Daniel Jonas was already difficult enough for her. As they keep hoping for good news about Holly's condition, Maggie will give Nicole DiMera a hug. Somewhere else, Days say Sloan Peterson Brady will confront another quandary now that Holly is not doing so well. It was off base for Sloan to take Jude Brady, yet basically she could alleviate her culpability by letting herself know that Nicole actually had Holly to zero in on. During an emergency meeting with Melinda Trask, Tina Huang, Sloan will consider the possibility that Nicole might overdose and lose her only child. In spite of the fact that Sloan will be enticed to explode all that and give Jude back to Nicole, Melinda will settle her down and push her stay silent. Holly is still in a state of unconsciousness, however Melinda might ask Sloan to expect uplifting news and abstain from doing anything rash. According to other Days spoilers, Brady Black will be furious that Tate Black is confined to a cell. Tate is additionally going to be attempted as a grown-up, so Brady will feel like something should be finished about E.J. DiMera's unforgiving treatment of his child. At the point when Brady and Teresa Donovan visit Tate, they'll detect his bruised eye and acknowledge things are surprisingly more terrible than they suspected. Days spoilers say Tate will make a foe or two in a correctional facility, so Teresa and Brady will be frantic to score his opportunity. Since Alex Kyriakis won't figure Justin Kyriakis doing what's necessary to assist Tate, he'll with firing him probably with Teresa's endorsement since she's beginning to accept they need a more merciless legal counselor. Brady will go to the DiMera manor, where he'll apparently work one more point by griping to Nicole. It seems like Brady will trust Nicole can persuade EJ to ease off his quarrel. Sadly, Brady will say something he shouldn't and drive Nicole excessively far. In the DOOL weekly preview video, Nicole yells back at Brady, "How dare you talk about my daughter like that?" EJ will shoot Brady also and toss him out of their home, so Brady will be furious and troubled as he neglects to save Tate. Brady will ultimately make an unfavorable guarantee to Teresa when he swears on the spirit of his granddad, Victor Kyriakis, John Aniston. When EJ swears on Stefano DiMera's soul, he will make a similar promise. It'll be an endeavor to quiet Nicole, who'll shout with rage as her feelings become a lot to suppress any longer. No good thing can emerge out of referencing Victor and Stefano's names in this situation, so more difficulty should brew. Then, Chad DiMera will cross-examine Stefan DiMera and Ava Vitali about whether the DiMeras are engaged with all the medication turmoil. In the interim, Harris Michael will offer Kate Roberts Brady the opportunity to get Lucas Horton, Brian DiTillo, out of jail, yet it'll accompany a lot of dangers. On the off chance that Lucas gets busted secret, he could confront a lethal result. Kate will inform Roman Brady of that as she worries about the mission Lucas is about to accept. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Lucas will land in a few unnerving circumstances soon. Tate's prison blues. Teresa calls EJ a beast. Sarah's new home. Days of Our Lives uncovers that Xander Cook made Sarah Horton a customary Scottish breakfast and played with her. Before they finally considered what had transpired last night, Sarah engaged in flirtatious behavior. At a certain point, there was a flashback to Xander and Sarah kissing by the window as the firecrackers ejected. Xander suggested that he should thank Sarah for helping to care for Victoria Horton Cook, who was ill, after Sarah thanked him for letting her stay in the spare room. Xander in the long run contemplated whether Sarah would consider moving in forever and developed concern when she began rationalizing not to. In the Days episode, they finally talked about the kiss, and Sarah and Xander confirmed that they both wanted it to happen. After Xander clarified that they'd simply be co-guardians and that he'd regard limits, Sarah consented to move in and checking living respectively out. Xander was excited and entertained Sarah since he previously had the keys prepared to surrender in his pocket. Next on Friday's DOL show, Trip Johnson, Lucas Adams, got back home to Wendy Shin who was pressing for Hong Kong. Wendy talked about her flight tonight and how excited she was to show Trip all the places she had been when he finally came along. Since Wendy was given an unconditional time away at the Salem PD, she contemplated whether Trip had gotten some information about withdrawing from non-appearance from the clinic. Tripp admitted that he was unable to go with Wendy and made sense of that. Holly Jonas went too far external the bistro the previous evening. After Tripp offered refreshes on Ava Vitali's dubious way of behaving, he uncovered that he was unable to leave her, particularly now that she'd pushed Harris Michaels, Steve Burton, away. Wendy recognized that Tripp's mother was in desperate need of him right now because Tripp was concerned that Ava would lie to him and become involved in illegal drug dealing. In any case, Wendy felt her folks required her as well, so that brought the test of doing a far-removed relationship. Tripp attempted to remain sure about it since they could chat on the telephone, message and video visit. Wendy concurred, however she brought up that it wouldn't be something very similar. Tripp and Wendy both cried as they discussed their adoration for one another, which prompted a few hot minutes on the couch. While Wendy was cleaning up, Tripp concealed a Jenga block in her bag so that she'd think that it is later. Wendy insisted on driving the car Tripp had ordered, despite Tripp's desire to take her to the airport. They said their goodbyes in the apartment because Wendy was aware that if Tripp came with her, it would be more difficult to do so. At the Salem PD on Friday's Days episode, it was uncovered that E.J. DiMera convinced the appointed authority that Tate Dark, Jamie Martin Man, was a flight risk. Brady Dark, Eric Martsolf, lurched at E.J., yet Alex kept him down. Teresa Donovan, Emily O'Brien, cautioned Brady not to get himself captured, so Brady eased off. Tate reeled over his bail being repudiated, yet things deteriorated when E.J. uncovered that he'd be charged as a grown-up and held in the neighborhood prison. In spite of the fact that Tate asked Teresa not to allow them to do this, she clearly couldn't stop what E.J. had gotten underway. Teresa and Brady gave their all to promise Tate that all eventual well, however Teresa called E.J. a beast and saw just sharpness in his eyes. Rafe Hernandez, Galen Gehring, maneuvered E.J. into the cross-examination room on Friday's Days episode and called him out on his feud, yet E.J. demanded bringing Tate down. E.J. insisted on Tate's punishment even though Rafe urged him to consider Johnny DiMera, Carson Boatman, and what it would have been like for him at that age. Teresa wished she'd paid attention to Alex Kyriakis, Robert Scott Wilson, about getting another legal counselor. Alex likewise took steps to rework E.J.'s face, however that unquestionably won't help Tate. After Tate changed into his prison garments, he imparted a few profound embraces to Teresa and Brady before he was driven away in cuffs. Brady cautioned E.J. that this wasn't finished, not by a long shot. In any case, E.J. just remained there looking conceited about Tate's torment. Gobby's exceptional changes, new man and new reason in 2024? Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.